Hello everyone, I hope you are doing good. For me, it's the same day, but this is part 2 of May predictions, guidance, energy, and prophecies all mixed up. But it's do check part 1, please, because it's not like part 2 is the next edition for the next dates. It's totally different. It's covering May and future as well. It's not like I've done part 1 is from 1 to 1st until the 15th, and this is from 15th to 20th, and you're seeing this on the 22nd. So this one's valid, the other one's not. That's not what I mean. I'm covering the whole month. So it wouldn't surprise me if Epstein comes back up with more revelations and exposure. I think that's coming up. I do see that there's an organized crime event and there is an intelligence agency case or event coming up. It kind of, there is an occurrence of this coming up. It might be past May, it could be in May. There's violence involving Russia internally. This could be another part of Russia. You know, because I think in Russia they have like the modern Russia, and then they have towards maybe south, I don't know. Is it more of the maybe a different religion in Russia? I think there's something there that happens. Do look out for international affairs, international relations, a headline around this. It's definitely coming up. Definitely coming up in the news. And I wonder if we're going to see something around Cuba coming up. Now, if you've not seen my Cuba read, do revert back to that. You can find stuff in the playlists that are relevant to that topic, so do look there. But it's one of the recent reads. You don't have to scroll too far back. But I think there's something coming up now around that in the very near future. And I think I got that in my read. I don't know why I was getting Edgar Casey. This could be that he's coming up in the news a lot more. He's being spoken about a lot more. He's being referred to a lot more. He is coming up. It's coming through, coming up, coming. Yeah, I think that's going to be coming up. I think in the summer we're going to see some mind-blowing revelations, particularly around July time. Rewinding till now, old file cases are going to be coming up. It includes criminality of famous people, elite, and the filing of a case against someone that is brought to light that was buried. Fast decisions that are made by any elites, also us, is going to be regretted. I'm particularly talking about leaders, elites, people that we see on the world stage, is going to be brought up and it's going to be regretted. There's going to be more coming out about the scientists, more information around that, or more news around that, or more scientists coming out in the next 8 weeks. And look at the time frame that it's been brought out, when it's actually released, and the things that get brought out with it. I have a question for some of you, and I was going to pull cards on it. Who thinks that duck has a body double? And I'm not talking about what is that? A clone, okay? Okay, if you think he's got a clone, that's something else as well. Let me know in the comments. Let's see what we get. I think we're going to see a lot about the real estate markets, home markets, that kind of stuff. Land is coming up, I think. I think a lot of us might have just done or doing some looking at financials, financial themes that seems to be coming up, debt topics seem to be coming up possibly. And when I was diving a bit deeper, in 2021, we saw a lot of people awaken. We saw a lot of people also go to social media and feel like they're doing their purpose or, just vouching, doing something new. And I think right now, it seems like that chapter's closing, and I think some of us might feel lost or lost touch with what we learnt in 2021, that period of 2020, 2021, and we lent towards it, whether it was a purpose or a spiritual belief or spiritual people that we were leaning towards. There's an energy that maybe it wasn't meant to last longer than now, or for some that they've lost that connection and lost hope in it, because a lot of people turned to spirituality during that time, and you know what years I'm talking about. For example, some people might have just gone very viral on YouTube in 2020. A lot of accounts were created, or a company might have hit a bonus or a profit. And now, or every year since then, it's kind of gone down. And it's kind of like, I'm not growing like I was, I'm stunted, but they're a massive channel. And they are growing, but they're not growing at 20,000 a month, for example, or the bonus or profit of a company the same. And sometimes that energy wavers and balances back out. It's kind of like we always want that more, as opposed to appreciating that lump sum you got, which you may not have got if the energy wasn't there. So some of us might feel like, why can't we just be present and live? While some of us may be losing the need to appreciate that not everything can come in floods of buckets or be dopamine rushes all the time. Lots of us may feel we're losing the tie to the spiritual touch that we felt or pulled us in 2020, 2021. And I'd like to hear your comments about that. When I got that coming through, it really felt like it was tangible in my hand. It felt like I'm getting something very tangible here, very connected, and is, I'd say, 100% occurring. So I'd love to hear your feedback. We are getting lots of inundated data, and a lot of it is being fed to us by AI, unscripted, and some of it, actually a lot of it, may need filtering from the crap that we're getting through. So we need to be aware of that. There's going to be a lot, we're noticing a lot of distractions on why are you on a path, maybe around the spirituality, maybe during that time you clicked on a video and it just clicked for you and it did something for you, and that no longer resonates. We have so much in our hands, but the tragedy of now is that we know more, but it seems like it's less expressionable, less knowledgeable, less focused, less detailed, less deeper intelligence. And I also see a lot of desensitization around things that could be quite crude, quite evil, quite promiscuous behavior cases, because we've seen so much and we have so much in front of us. and being shown to us and covered in videos and formats, etc. We also see the unhealed masculine energy at the top leader forms, or top level, let's say. And there's still people that are driving to conquer, dominate their field. Like, okay, this person has this, I need to dominate it. Why are they? Or this person has this car. But as society, we need to balance that out. Not just driving all the same masculine, thriving energy. And it's interesting because I feel like before 2019, it was a lot more. And I thought that it's balanced a lot more, but it seems like it might be coming back up in some jurisdictions and areas. And it's not purely external. We have to balance the internal message. The external in action could override the internal, and we need to look deeper, especially when we're talking about kids, because then there's the hollow aspects that where they might feel they won't feel it straight away, but there's a lack of nurture, and it's all about growth at all costs. It's about chasing, conquering. And also with that, are we bringing up certain narcissistic state traits? And there's an energy that we need to focus on ourselves, self-love, on the family, loved ones, people we care about, and understand there's a give and take on everything. You can't just take and absorb everything in. And we also have AI on consumer category, adding to this desensitization and the what image. And I'll go into consumerness in a minute, or consumer area. So what I'm getting at is, are we feeding ourselves, nurturing ourselves, or are we feeding AI, the tech, the algorithm, the growth of desensitization? And I feel that that is a valid question. We get caught up and we value validating more and more and more information, more and more scrolling, more and more videos, and we forget that it shouldn't be at the detriment of ourselves, of family, of loved ones, anyone we care about. And I feel like this is the energy that is coming up, especially from now until summer, not to get lost in, because it's currently lost, and that's why I'm bringing it back to the forefront. Can we find contentment? If it's not happiness, then contentment and peace where we are in the moment, in the chapter, in the season, or if something just makes us smile on the day. And I know it's something that you might have heard, but please understand the deeper messaging. If I go to consumer, we're being fed, and always will be, because the powers behind it all need the money and need to control the narrative. It's even like this thing about being forever young. We're in this area where 40 would have been really, really old, and now it's kind of like you're seeing these 40s that are looking after their bodies and as strong as the younger 20-year-olds, if not stronger. We're in this kind of shadowy phase. We're moving. Can we see through that filter yet? It's hard, because we've told we need to be forever young, and we can't be. And we're wired things through our family and the way they used to work, and it was about get the money, pay the rent, da la 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 la. And then we also have media, and then we also have the media that says, be a good little consumer, why can't you have this? You don't have this, they have that. So you can see the circle and the intricacies. I also think medical intervention has gone beyond the and I've said this before a few years ago. I wasn't on YouTube, but I believed it. It's gone beyond actually looking after human. It's just become, you go there, make up any symptoms, they'd probably say you need surgery. They don't listen to you. They'll just say medical interventions needed. And there's a lot of fear around installing, around medical intervention, around seeing doctors, around anything around the medical health sector. And I believe they've done this. And doctors and healthcare practitioners need to get back on track. It's kind of like if you look at the birthing rate, I believe that the birthing rate of C-sections now is probably higher than, well, I know it is than the past, but I wonder how high it is. And I wonder if right now a doctor would be like, no, we're going to go have C-section because, you've got insurance, they can get insurance money, etc. But we're not weaker, and people think we are, than the old wives mothered even that birthed at home. Yeah, we've got a menu of, you'll have anesthesia, you'll have your bed, you'll have this, you'll have that. And what a privilege. But I mean, if you're offered a C-section, you want a C-section, that's something else. But I wonder if that is an example as well. I do think that we are going to see some countries that are trying to promote having more than one kid, having more kids, having birthing, getting married, or new policies around that. Because I think in this day and age, there's many reasons why maybe that's not at the forefront of people's priority, whereas in the past, it was something you do as part of life's circle. So I think look out for those countries that try to promote that, and new things around birthing, giving birth, children. And I think, was it Japan that a year or two ago, maybe a couple of years, said you can now have more than one child, and it's just not working. Again, I do want to bring up that the end of May is somewhere where I feel tension. I've given the dates, and cohesiveness. That's what I was trying to say in part one. I think if it wasn't this part one, we need to look out for that. We might see a theme of discrepancies in faith, and it could even be between ourselves and our community, or between on the larger plan, or even between you and your friend. You're out for coffee or at home with a coffee, and suddenly you feel like, what is happening? That, like, what are they talking about? How can you believe that in a faith? And it doesn't have to be a tied in a knot religion. Okay, it could be a faith discrepancy in faith, or a spiritual belief. So that's the energy and the themes I feel we're going to get, and predictions and prophecies in May, and some of them that's obviously beyond May. I hope you found this helpful. I think they are helpful. It's not very motivating with the channel, I must admit. So if you do enjoy this content, you can like, you can support, you can buy a super thanks, you can donate a coffee by sending it to PayPal, because they take a lot less of the percentage. You can hype the videos. If you're a member, after it's open to hype, but I don't expect you to have to come back unless you don't see it and then you see it later and you wish to hype. Other than that, I do feel blessed for those of you that are supporting the channel, and look out for the next predictions, and I look for your comments on the elements that we shared. I did say that I wanted to pull cards on a couple of things, and I hope I can remember them to write them down with other questions to do a whole episode in itself. Do look out for that crime case. Hopefully I can record it and do the narrative, really break it down how I wish to break it down for us all. Take care, and I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.